Good morning, Vikings, and welcome back to our final episode of NPTV for the year.
Before we get started, would everyone please stand for a moment of silence? Now please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Like I said, today is our last NPTV broadcast of the year, and for some of our classmates, it's their last time being on the broadcast ever.
With that being said, let's get started with some announcements. Any student who wants to run for a class officer position needs to pick up a petition on the table in Mrs. Schickler's room. All petitions are due by 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Tomorrow, there will be an FCA meeting at 7:15 in the auditorium.
There's also a junior class council meeting tomorrow at 7:45 in Mrs. McCutcheon's room. This meeting will discuss planning to get ahead for the fall semester.
When you're finished with finals on Wednesday, plan to head over to Aza Pizza for a give back event. Just to show them a picture of the flyers when you check out, and portions of sales will go towards the class of 2026.
Speaking of AZIP, sophomores, be sure to submit all your gift card forms to Ms. Daly by Friday.
Well, seniors, congratulations. You made it to your last day of high school classes. All you have to do now is power through today's finals, turn in your Chromebooks, and then get to celebrate tomorrow at Holiday World.
Turn in your permission slips to Mrs. Grease or Mrs. Thompson today. You get to sleep in on Friday. Just make sure you're here by 1 p.m. to go through Honors Day practice.
Monday, you'll report in your cap and gown for Honors Day. Then Tuesday, you'll take your senior walk through the elementary schools and have your graduation practice.
Your graduation ceremony will take place next Friday at 7:30 at the football field.
There are a few things to be aware of as you make your way towards graduation. If you're eligible for senior cards, purchase those for your group sponsors.
Also, no one is allowed to deface or write on your motorboard. This is not allowed and will remove you from the graduation ceremony.
Freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, pick up your final exemption forms in the office. You can exempt from 2 finals as long as you have at least B average and 2 or fewer absences. All signed forms are due Friday at 3:30 p.m. This is a hard deadline, seriously. The office will not accept them late forms.
Final exams start Monday afternoon with our 7th period final. Tuesday, we'll take 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and we'll wrap up on Wednesday with our 4th, 5th, and 6th period finals.
Remember, some of you can arrive late or leave early depending on which finals you exempt. For example, if you exempt your 1st period final on Tuesday, you don't have to come until it's time for your 2nd period final. You don't have to sign in if you are already arriving late from an exemption. Just make sure you are in your seat when the next final starts.
The same thing is true for late finals. If you exempt your 6th period final, you can leave after you finish your 5th period exam on Wednesday without signing out. You cannot, however, leave and then come back. If you are exempting your 2nd period final but not 1st or 3rd, you have to be here all day.
Now it's time to catch up on some sports.
Good morning, Vikings. I'm Cage.
And I'm Braylon.
I think I speak
Thank you, Vince.
I think I speak for both Braylon and myself when I say this. But as everyone knows, this is our last broadcast, and I have to say the 3 years I've been here in this class have been impeccable. Beautiful.
Thank you.
It was beautiful. These times are always times that I will cherish. I will never forget all the times that Miss McCutcheon got way too excited over an everyday occurrence, or the times I was on my phone while Braylon did all the work. Thank you. Or being late to class anyway every day. It's times like these that... Could you pipe down a little?
You were supposed to keep talking while I was playing the recorder.
Oh, my fault.
Dude, this isn't a banquet. We have sports to talk about.
My fault. Of course. With that being said, congratulations to the boys golf team placing 2nd in the conference by a tiebreaker, and to Caden Jingball and Reese Thompson both finishing top 10 in the PSC. Those two were also all conference.
Spring sports season is almost over already, and that means sectionals are coming up. So here's our sectional schedule for all spring sports. Girls track competed in sectionals last night, and Avery Little, Ellie Jo Johnson, Olivia Eshe are all advancing to regionals.
Tomorrow we have 2 sectionals happening. Boys track will be at Central and girls tennis will be at Mount Vernon.
Next Monday, softball kicks off their sectional tournament at Forest Park, but we don't know who they'll play against yet.
Then on Thursday, baseball starts up sectionals against South Spencer. Exactly a week after that, boys golf has their sectional championship at Helfrich Hills.
Good luck to all of our athletes competing for the rest of the year. I gotta say, being on NPSN this year was a blast. If I could do it for one more year, I would. And I know this isn't a banquet, but thanks to Cage for co-hosting NPSN with me, and thanks to all of the viewers for supporting us.
It's been an honor being your co-host this year, Braylon. But it's been an honor just to be on this crew as a whole. This year has been truly so much fun with all the success of our sports team, especially the football state run. Hopefully there is still more success to come with the spring sectionals coming up, but I feel especially honored to send it over to Vince for one last time.
Good morning, North Posey, and welcome back to the. Thank you, Braylon. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And welcome back to the Weather Corner. Today, I'm here with Seth to bring you one final broadcast.
Are you sure? Didn't you recall that last week?
Well, Seth, I came out of retirement for 2 reasons. One of which is to get a huge shout out to Mr. Kirkman for staying up for himself last week and reminding me that he is indeed a man. Also, to give one final forecast. Alright, Seth, get out of the way.
No.
Maybe. Alright, this is technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Wednesday is going to look cloudy, highs in the mid-70s, lows in the upper 50s. Thursday, warm up a little bit, high with 80, low of 64. Friday looks like a washout. Technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. With highs in the low 70s and lows in the low 60s. On Saturday, it warms up again with highs in the low 80s and lows in the low and mid 60s. Now it's time to send it back to Maine.
Wrap.
Today, we're here with Ian to tell us some jokes.
Alright.
Go ahead, Ian.
Okay, what did the hat say to the, what was that? Tassel?
That's a tough one.
You hang around and I'll go ahead.
I get it, because the graduation cap goes on your head. Good one.
Yep, why did the Scarecrow get a degree?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in the field.
Oh, good one. Tell us another one.
Sure, why didn't the pirate make it to honor roll when he graduated?
I'm really not sure about that one.
I
Can
was,
you tell me?
I was brave for C's.
Arr, matey. That one was great. Thanks, Ian.
No problem, it's my kind of job around here. Now it's time to have a quick year in review.
We asked a few students to reflect on the past year. Here's what they had to say.
I'm excited for all the senior activities and playing volleyball.
I'll miss seeing my friends every day. I won't miss calculus. I want to give a shout out to Coach Roar because she's my homie. My favorite memory is how well we've done in sports.
The thing I'm probably going to miss the most is my friendships and all the memories I made at North Posey. The thing I'm probably not going to miss the most is econ, but I like Mr. College, it's not the class. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Kirkman, Ms. Schmidt, and Mr. Cox. My favorite high school memory is probably student sections and pep assemblies with all my friends.
Going to state and we the people.
Probably not being the youngest class anymore.
My favorite memory this year was the German party.
Alright, it's probably being able to be friends with the older kids rather than getting hated on for being a freshman.
Because I'm not this tall, I'm this tall.
The best part about not being a freshman anymore is not having to flip cards at the academic competitions.
I like not being in manufacturing anymore.
I'd say not getting told to do everything else that you don't want to.
Probably not being treated like an underclassman even though we still are. I can finally drive. I don't have to rely on my dad to get me here.
I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Daly for just putting up with me throughout the years and just letting me come in and steal her snacks whenever I'm hungry. So thank you so much.
Frau, because she was the only teacher who really, one of the few teachers who really helped me through all of high school and everything.
What I knew before I entered high school was how easy the finals are.
My favorite memory of this year was probably the FFA petting zoo.
Wish I knew in junior high about high school is that if you turn in your assignments and get them done on time, then you will be perfectly fine and you will do good in school.
Before I got in high school, that I knew how much tests affected your grade. Because in middle school, I feel like they did not matter as much, but now in high school they matter a lot more.
How easy it was because it's not as hard as junior high.
My favorite memory from this year was the McCutcheon Masters.
I would have liked to know before high school is that the teachers aren't really as strict as they say they are.
One thing I wish I knew before going into high school was it's a lot easier than you might expect. If you just do your homework and study for tests, you'll pass it with flying colors, I promise.
One thing that I wish I would have known coming into high school is to not care what other people think of you.
It's a lot easier than what most people say. As long as you do your work and study, it's pretty easy.
My favorite memory is going to state football and just being around sports.
So besides graduating, probably taking more college classes.
I'm going to miss being able to see my friends every day, and I'm going to miss some of my favorite teachers that I've made really good relationships with.
I'll miss playing football and mainly just going to sporting events in general.
Okay, I think my favorite part about not being a freshman anymore is the fact that I don't have to do gym. That's pretty good.
I'd have to say probably to graduate.
I'm excited for all the fun stuff we get to do as seniors. So.
There's football games, basketball games, and Spirit Week, and special shout out to Miss Thompson.
There are few of us who have been a part of NPTV since it first started 3 years ago. So we're going to deliver our final segment together.
We're also giving all of you a chance to see behind the scenes of NPTV. It may not be Vegas, but it's still a great place to be.
Jonathan and Cheyenne are our producers who run the show.
Carla Elpers has also been the appreciate it. Has also been the steady hand behind the camera for the last 3 years.
Our crew members are what make everything happen, and we thank them for having our backs each broadcast.
Okay, guys, before we get too sappy, let's keep going with our year in review.
Freshmen, it's your time to shine. Next week marks the completion of your first year of high school. Congrats, class of 2027. You're 25% of the way there.
We asked our high school's greenies what they wish they would have known starting the school year.
Carmen Mills stated teachers will not stay on you about work.
Relay Cullen wishes she would have known that high school isn't really that stressful.
Our very own Aslan Templeton wishes he knew that some classes would be weighted.
And finally, I personally like this one. Someone stated that he wishes he knew how to use a graphing calculator. Hopefully that greenie is doing okay.
Yeah, this is my first time feeling bad for one.
We also asked the freshmen which teacher they were going to miss next year. Our top answers were Miss Cox, Mr. White, and Miss Knowlton. And I agree with all of those. They're pretty great.
Now let's take a look at the class of 2026 favorite parts of last year.
A majority of our sophomores mentioned their newfound seniority and relief at not just being a freshman anymore.
For example, Addie Windrith and Savannah Nottingham both said they enjoyed not being babies of the school.
One student said the best part of being a sophomore is not being treated like a freshman. No one likes freshmen, LOL.
Don't worry, freshmen. Any jabs at you are in good fun. We've all been there before.
Another question was asked, if this year was a movie, what would the title be? And we got some great responses like Year of the Feet from Hayden Farrar because of the great achievements we had in Footloose and going to state with football.
Some other good titles were Attack of the Freshmen from Lade Merrill.
We also had a title of, okay, it was fun at first, but let me out of here already.
We had a few people title the movie Mean Girls, so let's try to be nicer next year, ladies.
We had a tie for favorite teachers from the sophomore class. They said that Mrs. McCutcheon and Mrs. Wilson were the two teachers they missed most next year.
As you know, since we'll be graduating, the juniors will soon be taking on roles as influencers next year.
Heck yeah, we are. Let's see what our juniors have to say.
Zay Dillon is excited to graduate.
Lee Patrick is looking forward to being 18, while Raymond Ryder is excited to be done with math.
Reagan Bell is excited for it to be her last year of high school, and Brian Games is excited to be a role model for the lower classmen. Wait, a role model? Don't listen. Do not be like him.
They must have said that for April Fools. But Braylon, really, I feel like they can set better goals.
Vince, have you seen yourself?
Yeah, I actually have seen myself. I think I look pretty
Okay,
decent.
let's keep it going, guys. Come on. But let's not forget how great this last year was. Juniors won the Fall Homecoming Spirit Shield.
And then won the basketball Spirit Shield, but lost it by the time they got back to school on Monday.
That's all right, Berlin. We're happy to share. We've got enough school spirit to go around. There's always time for more fun.
Speaking of fun, our juniors weighed in on the teachers they had the most fun with. Not surprisingly, Mr. Weetop will be missed by quite a few juniors.
Jacob Hughes said he'll miss Mr. Weatherholt because he loves the way he structures his class.
Hyper Rollins is sad to no longer be in Miss Eshy's class, and we had other specific shout-outs to Miss Rohr and the other office staff.
The junior class also created a playlist for the year. High School Never Ends by Bowling for Soup would be our opener.
Apparently, we gotta hold on to what we got, because Living on a Prayer is the second track.
That will be followed by You're Gonna Miss This by Trace Atkins and Back in Black by AC/DC.
There's a wide variety of genres on this playlist because next is Good Life by Kanye West.
Our next track is Trouble by Cage the Elephant. And our final track is I Ain't Worried by One Republic.
Cage the Elephant?
Hey, make pretty good music in my spare time.
Are you hating, Braylon?
No, I'm not hating.
The class of 25 does have good music taste, but do they have good movie taste? Here's what some of our juniors came up with to describe the last year.
Loud halls, thin walls, freshmen just won't shut up. That's going to be the greatest movie of all time.
Also appearing as a junior movie, I Am Tired. Everyone can relate to that.
Another relatable one is Junior Year Kills, because everyone knows that junior year is the hardest academic year in school.
Hopefully this isn't everyone, but Barely Passing sounds like a movie straight from 1998.
Oh, shit. Are we done yet?
No, the broadcast isn't over.
No, that's the name of the movie, Braylon.
Oh yeah. That's a great name for a movie, but we're actually getting close to done now. It's the moment you've all been waiting for, or some of you I guess, our senior responses.
When we asked what the seniors would miss most about their time at Narposi, the overwhelming responses were their friends, their teachers, and the people they've met over the last 4 years.
They will not, however, miss homework, sitting for 7 hours a day, or AP Physics. Sorry, Mr. McMunn.
They also won't miss the hallways, specifically the underclassmen standing in the middle of the hall, preventing anyone going through.
It's not that hard to know class or hallway rules.
Stand on the side.
It's like street.
Our senior class made sure to give the following teacher shout-outs to
Mr. Kirkman, he's so funny. And thank you for being such a supportive dad to all of us during the We the People season. I genuinely will miss it.
Miss Schaefer, thank you for being the only music teacher I've ever had who genuinely believed in me.
Mr. Nance, congrats on being a dad.
Frau, sie ist die besten Lehrerin.
And what exactly does that mean?
Frau is the best teacher.
Well, according to Colin, Frau Schmidt actually teaches good. I'd say it's a pretty good compliment coming from your own nephew.
The next one is for Miss Dalton. You know I'll miss you.
Miss Wilson, Mr. Wallace, Miss Eshy, Mr. Kuhn, Coach Jay, and Miss Schmidt also got some good shout-outs from the senior class. But we want to thank all of our teachers for a great 4 years.
Especially Mr. Kuhn, for all 4 years of my high school. The majority of the seniors said that beating Modern Day and watching our football team go to state was their favorite high school memory.
When asked who they can always go to for a laugh, our seniors couldn't decide on just one person.
Abby Duncan said she can always count on Annalise Mays for a good laugh.
Aubrey Bonnet told Michaela Carter, if you just look at her, she will get confused and ask a million questions, and it's so funny.
Quinn Fallowfield, also known as Quilt Football Field, said Jacob Schmidt knows exactly how to make him lose it.
Bob Lamar said Matthew Stump is the one person who always knows how to make him laugh.
Xander Pickens looks to little man Matthew Wilderman because he's always got something to say.
And finally, numerous seniors said they can count on the lunch ladies for a daily laugh, especially Rhonda.
If our seniors could do a little time traveling, here's what they would tell freshmen selves.
Do your homework and don't slack off, unless you want to do it in flex period.
Just have fun, let go, and be yourself.
Don't stress so much about getting everything done and being the best. Do what you can.
Don't take that melatonin.
It only gets easier.
Don't be afraid to talk to people.
And Quinn Fallowfield would tell himself, for God's sake, do your work.
Finally, we're going to end with one of the best pieces of advice that we can all agree on.
Become friends with everyone, because it can never hurt to expand your friend group, and those friendships may last you a lifetime, so there's no harm.
From all of us here at NPTV,
thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for all the laughs.
Thanks for all the friendships.
And thank you all for all the memories we have all made here. We really appreciate it.
Signing off for NPTV for the last time.
See you guys.
See you, boys.
Peace out.
Girl Scout.